Hi everyone, I'm Keirsten from Wellness Island Chronic Illness Coaching, and I am so excited to start sharing my journey with all of you. Now, this is my first TikTok video, so I just wanted to introduce myself. I'll talk about my Wellness Island business in another video, but Wellness Island is my life coaching business where I teach other women with chronic illnesses holistic health techniques to help improve their quality of life. So I'll talk about that in another video. So this video will be about me. I am a chronic illness warrior, and I have multiple chronic illnesses and multiple disabilities. And I also have chronic pain. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. My main disease is called mitochondrial myopathy, which is called MITO for short. And this disease is a rare genetic neuromuscular disease that has no treatment. So like all doctors can do is treat the symptoms that it causes. So like if you develop nausea, you get nausea meds. Mitochondrial myopathy is also progressive and there is no cure. So my health has been declining over time, and I've been in palliative care for about 2 years now. Now, you might remember if you took a high school biology class that mitochondria are the powerhouses of the cells. And with mitochondrial diseases, the mitochondria don't work right. And so the cells can't operate correctly. And since you have mitochondria in all of the cells throughout your body, except for your red blood cells, mitochondrial diseases can affect all parts of the body. And there's a lot of different types of mitochondrial diseases, and mine is a mitochondrial myopathy. And myopathy means muscle disease. And so in mitochondrial myopathy, the muscles are the most affected, and it causes muscle weakness. So like my leg muscles are weak, so I use a power wheelchair. My stomach muscles are weak, and so I have something called gastroparesis, which means paralyzed stomach. So I have 2 feeding tubes, a J tube and a G tube. My bladder muscles are weak, and so I use a urinary catheter. My eye muscles are weak, so I have double vision and special glasses to help that. Also, my breathing muscles are weak, so I have respiratory failure, and I use a ventilator to breathe, and I also use oxygen at night. I want something called non-invasive ventilation, which is using a CPAP or BiPAP mask like the one under my nose. You use that kind of mask to connect to the ventilator instead of having a tracheostomy. And if anyone doesn't know what a tracheostomy is, it's also called a trach. That's when you have a hole cut surgically into your throat, and then they insert a breathing tube down through the hole to your lungs. Now, unfortunately, non-invasive ventilation is not helping me as much as it used to, so I'll be getting a trach at some point in the future. Now, like I said, I'm technically diagnosed with mitochondrial myopathy, but doctors actually think I might really have a type of mitochondrial myopathy called mitochondrial encephalomyopathy. And the encephalo part just means the nervous system is seriously affected too. So, for example, mitochondrial encephalomyopathy causes things called stroke-like episodes, where it looks kind of like you had a stroke. So here's an example. One time I had a stroke-like episode, and I completely lost the use of both of my arms and hands and fingers. So I was hospitalized, and then I had to do occupational therapy for months and months and months to get back some of the use of my arms and hands and fingers. And I didn't get all my function back, but I'm much better than I was. So that's MITO. But actually, I literally have 3 pages of medical diagnoses. So like I have this document on my computer that lists them all by body system. So like I have a list of GI diagnoses, a list for neurology, a list for pulmonary, and so on. Now, most of these diseases are actually caused by my mito. And so some examples are autism, liver problems, chronic pain, migraines, anemia, neuropathy, immune deficiency, severe fatigue, and hypersomnolence, which means excessive daytime sleepiness, and a lot more. I actually have 8 diagnoses just for my eyes. So like I have glaucoma and cataracts and degeneration of the retina, the double vision I mentioned, and some other stuff. But I also have medical diagnoses that are probably not related to my mito, like asthma and bilateral Meniere's disease, which is an inner ear disease that causes hearing loss and vertigo. And so, like, I have hearing loss and I use hearing aids. And I also have depression, anxiety, and PTSD. But thankfully, these things have been under control for several years. And in addition, I'm also suspected of having EDS, which is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and POTS. So as you can see, I'm dealing with a lot. But everyone has their own battles they're fighting, especially my fellow chronic illness warriors. So let's embrace this journey together and remember we're not defined by our illness or chronic pain, but by the strength that we find inside. So I hope you've learned a little about me and my chronic illnesses, and I can't wait to start sharing my experiences and insights and the things that have helped me in future videos. So comment below and tell me what chronic illness you're dealing with so we can get to know each other. And always remember, you're not alone in this. You're a warrior, and your journey matters. So keep going. Stay hopeful, stay strong, and see you soon.